And that is why Dango actually makes Monster Hunter worse.
Yeah, sure, okay.
Because I miss big plates of food.
All right, buddy.
Are you listening to me?
Oh, me too.
Ladies, gentlemen, and
Monsters of all ages, welcome one and all to something a little bit different. Recently, I asked a bunch of you guys for your unpopular opinions on the Monster Hunter series, no matter what they may be, and today I will be fighting on your side, in favor of whatever opinion that you shared. Regardless of whether I believe it myself, I will fully commit to your side to the best of my ability.
What if it's stupid?
Shut up, Fugan, none of them are stupid, they are nice people.
Nice people can be stupid, Cotton.
Why did you stare at me so deeply when you said that?
Ahem. I would have preferred a newcomer over Fatalis as our finale monster of Iceborne.
Well, this goes back to the old reveal that Fatalis was never originally planned for Iceborne, and was instead only created to be added to the game after the reaction of the fanbase as a whole to the updated Fatalis render in the 15th anniversary promo material. But why did this happen? Clearly, this means that they had a different monster planned for that final slot. It never seemed like Elatrion would be the final monster of the cycle, so it stands to reason that Fatalis more than likely replaced a new monster. As cool as Fatalis is, as much as it is one of the top fights of the entire series now, why couldn't they give that same treatment to just an entirely new monster? Something completely unexplored instead of revisiting the eldest dragon. It's not that Fatalis is bad, it's what he theoretically replaced. He instead could have been a new monster of Black Dragon or similar power level, and as much as returning monsters are definitely nice to have, what is cooler than a returning Black Dragon is a new Black Dragon.
I like the way that the updates rolled out in Rise. I ended up having more time playing the game than I would have otherwise. I liked the period where there was weaker gear and we could fight the monsters on the same level.
Rise at this point in time, outside of the specifically difficulty-based event quests, is pretty easy in fully stocked out gear. That isn't really unusual for a Monster Hunter game though. I mean, having a complete build is entirely supposed to make the game feel comfortable. That said, there was something really special about that first couple of months after the release of Monster Hunter Rise, where hunters had their power capped in some somewhat unusual ways, such as just not having all of the decorations unlocked yet. This led to extended periods of altered hunting. Valstrak's armor sort of became the standard once he was added to the game, but before then there were actually quite a fair bit of variety in the set building, and some of the more niche sets had much more viability. Early on in the game's life cycle, weapons like the Bullfango hunting horn were actually incredible, and there's just something lovely about bashing a monster in the head with a stuffed bull on a stick and knowing that it isn't just a meme, it is also a face stomper. If all of the monsters in the game were in the game on day one, people would have bursted their way through the entire roster, built Valstrak's armor, then bam, life's easy. There were a couple of months that were genuinely unique in there for the Monster Hunter experience, and it 100% added to the playtime of most people who played Rise, giving you a continued impending goal, something to look forward to that was going to arrive, a reason to hunt past the pure enjoyment of hunting.
Plesioth's hitboxes need to be buffed, not enough range.
Plesioth is an absolute darling of a monster who is a beautiful creature with a 10 out of 10 moveset who should be in every Monster Hunter game, and he deserves the world. In fact, a world-spanning range. His hip check should hit everything on the map every time. Are you in the camp? Just loaded into the quest? Bam! Hip check. Is there an Aptonoth in Zone 1 just chilling out? Bam! Hip check. Everything, everywhere, because Plesioth is simply a god of all fish who should hip check the air itself.
Tracking monsters in World was insanely fun to me. It actually felt like I'm tracking down this monster as a hunter. I didn't really feel like it was boring and useless. It just sort of felt fun and immersive. Of course, when I got to endgame and everything, I memorized where monsters usually spawned, but other than that, it was really fun.
There was something very uniquely charming about picking up a set of tracks in Monster Hunter World. Your hunter sniffing something or cutting up samples with the mounting knife, then analyzing it, practically Batmaning their way through the life one step at a time, and it just sort of gets lost in Rise. Sure, there is a lore reason for it with the owls and it speeds up the game, but was this a part of the game that really needed to be sped up? In older games, we had a hot air balloon that would float around on most of the maps most of the time that you could wave to for a free one-time monster location ping. Then as long as you had paintball of them consistently, you wouldn't lose the monster. In World, you have the initial tracking sequence, then you just know where they are. The initial track is actually much more fun than the older generation experience, like significantly in my mind, and it is absolutely more rewarding than the owl is in Rise, just knowing where things are.
Collecting Spira birds in endemic life in Rise is actually pretty fun. I like zipping around the maps and having that sort of preparation routine, especially for some of the latest really hard fights. I have a route for every map.
Anytime a quest in Monster Hunter Rise is challenging enough to make me feel like I need a little bit of extra juice in the system, I do my walk around the map, grabbing Spira birds, stocking up with a whole backpack of endemic life, status toads, element beetles, healing snails, lantern bugs, you name it. The amount of utility just laying around the maps begging to be used in Monster Hunter Rise is insane. The amount of reward that you can have as a hunter just for running around the map for 5 minutes before you hunt is awesome. It adds a lot of variety to the hunting experience quest to quest. It gives you a personal, variable difficulty slider depending on how much you want to commit to it. And if more quests in Monster Hunter Rise were balanced in a way that I felt like these Spira birds were more useful, I would just be happier. In fact, if all of Sunbreak was balanced in a way that not having Spira birds was genuinely difficult, and then having Spira birds was about average, at least until the end game when full sets obviously make the game easy again, that would be really fun to me. That would be engaging, and it would challenge you to make use of your knowledge of the map to really take advantage of what is around you. And by your knowledge of the map, I guess to a certain extent, I mean the little symbols that pop up on your map, because we all know where everything is. The maps might not feel quite as alive as they did in the world, with everything being as static as it is, but this mechanic is definitely very satisfying when you do get to make proper use of it and have it pay off.
Dodogama is actually a bland, forgettable monster who got luckily beamed into the spotlight for being cute. I'm sorry.
How fucking dare you, Josh? I know this is you. Yes, Dodogama is a really cute lizardy boy, but his fight mechanic is that he eats rocks and spits out rocks. His attack patterns are basically a combination of Tigrex and Yonkutku, but he doesn't have wings and he isn't a tiger dinosaur. But he is a beautiful creature, gorgeous monster, absolutely lovely visuals, but he just doesn't have a whole lot to gush about outside of his boopable snoot, the friendly personality that the community decided that he has. He does sleep underground though, so you know, that is very cute as well. Alright everyone, I've been Gotten Dinosaur, and these have been some of your own unpopular Monster Hunter opinions, fought for by me. What are your thoughts on these Monster Hunter matters? Do they even matter? What are your own unpopular opinions about the Monster Hunter franchise as a whole? Like if you like the video, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet. Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.